Hello and welcome to the Arab and the Manc.
Hello.
With me, Dennis, and her.
Aya. We hope you guys are okay. Sorry that
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Sorry we didn't have time to record last time. You know what? I have been here. People have told me that we should record many episodes ahead so we can release it and not like last week we didn't have time.
But you'd have to have all them episodes researched. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, that's your job, innit?
Yeah, but I've got other things to do, love.
Anyway, today is... What's today? Today is Wednesday, the 6th of November.
Yes.
Not long to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know on Instagram, I heard today, I don't wanna live for Christmas.
Bloody hell, already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, it's that time of year, love.
Mm-hmm. Michael Bubble has emerged from his cave.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what is the episode today about?
Today,
I'm not looking forward to it.
talking about baseball.
Boring, boring.
Baseball, I have to say, is one of the most boring sports in the history of the world.
Which one is baseball? Is that the ball that we have got where you play with Ernie and Dolly, the brown one?
No, that's American football.
How does baseball...
Baseball is...
Have they got that bat that they hit with?
Yeah, they have that. It's like we played rounders.
No.
Well,
Is it like brain ball?
probably. That sounds familiar.
You know where you throw the ball and someone has to run?
Yeah, you hit it and then run.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
We have this. The Swedish version is called brain ball. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, it's absolutely boring as hell.
So why are we talking about it? Oh, we know what's more boring than baskets. What's it called?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Talking about baseball.
Exactly. So why that? Why on earth have you chosen this topic?
Because this is just one good story in the whole history of baseball.
Right.
That's quite fun.
Okay. I think is like I feel like I can't participate because I haven't got a clue. Can you quickly run me through the rules of the game? Just very quick.
You don't really need to know the rules of the game. It's nothing.
But I need to
right.
know.
Well, so you have two teams playing against each other.
Right.
And whoever scores the most runs...
How many people in each team? Like football, 11?
I think there's 11. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Anyway, yeah.
I think there's 9 on the outfield.
Right.
But I don't know how many. I'm not sure.
Anyway,
so yeah, basically whoever scores the most runs wins the game.
Right.
And they play a whole season, which is ridiculous amount of games.
Mm-hmm.
They play virtually every other day. And then at the end of that season, they have the teams that do the best have playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the two best teams who get through to the final, that's called the World Series.
Okay.
They play each other 7 times, and whoever wins the most, well, it's first to 4 wins, basically. So if someone wins the first 4 games, they win the World Series. Right, so that's the rules of the game.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Because I didn't understand one thing.
Okay.
I have question marks all over my head. Anyway, baseball.
You can listen back and understand.
Okay.
Play it slow at half speed.
Yeah, tell me now.
Anyway, so... It's about the Chicago Cubs, right? They're a team from Chicago, believe it or not.
Okay.
And they had not won the World Series since 1908.
1908? What? So how old is the sport?
I don't know, it's years and years old.
Oh, yeah, I know what it looks like. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
That ball, oh my goodness.
Googled it.
Is that the ball when one time you were working, someone tried to hit you with it? That is more...
Oh, no, the bat. Yeah.
The bat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a more interesting story.
I'll tell that another day.
Okay, anyway. No, we'll tell it at the end when we get time. Come on.
Okay. So, this team have not won since 1908.
1908, okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And in 1945...
Yes. 1945, the end of the World War.
Yeah, they got to...
Is that right?
Yeah.
World War II.
They got to the World Series for the first time since 1908, but they lost it.
Okay.
But during that World Series, there was a man who turned up with a goat. He had tickets for him and his goat, paid for a box. But the smell of the goat
Are you telling the
This
truth
is a
or
true
you just
story.
made
Of
up
course.
story?
Well, this is why I'm telling the story, because it's a great story. So
He brought the goat.
yeah, he was from a local pub called the Billy Goat Tavern.
Right.
Okay, so I presume it's like a promotional thing. He went there with his goat. He paid for him and his goat to go there.
How much were the tickets? No, just joking. Anyway, yeah.
So they play in the game.
Yeah.
But other people are complaining about the smell of the goat.
Right.
So they chucked him out of the game. And he put a curse. He sent a letter to the owner cursing the club, the Cubs,
Right.
saying you'll never win the World Series ever again.
Right.
And so they went years without even getting close to winning the World Series after that. And it became like a popular thing then, like called the Chicago Cubs. It's the curse of the Billy Goat. Every time they looked like they might get to the World Series and they lost, it'd be brought up in the media, oh, it's because of the curse of the Billy Goat. And that's what it was called, okay? So then eventually they get to 2003.
Yeah. 2003.
They are one game away.
Almost a decade.
Almost a decade since they won
No, not
it.
decade. The century.
A century since they won it. 6 decades since they got to the World Series.
Go on. Anyway.
So eventually they get to close to the World Series in 2003.
Yeah.
They
The
just
World
have to-
Series is like the World Cup for baseball.
Kind of, but it's only ever played in America, really, and a little bit in Japan.
To that, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So get to the World Series, like the Super Bowl in American football.
Yeah.
The Champions League final, basically.
Okay.
So they one game away from getting there. They have to just win this last game to get back to the World Series. And they're winning 3-0, coming towards the end of the game. And the way it works in baseball is you have to get 3 men out. You have 9 innings, and you have to get 3 men out for each innings.
To get out, like, of the game, red card.
No, like to catch, like you hit the ball and then someone catches it.
Yeah.
Or you get them on the base and stop them from running all the way around. So
You may as well tell the story all by yourself because I'm not hanging
This is-
at all. Anyway, you get
Right.
3 men out.
Right. So they only need to get 5 men out anyway, right? They're 3-0 up. So basically, they're on the verge of winning. That's all you need
They're
to know.
almost winning.
Yeah.
Yes. Then what happens? The
So
goats.
The team they're playing against hit the ball and it's gone out of bounds. But if you catch the ball out of bounds, you're still out.
What does it mean out of bounds?
So you have a playing field
Yes.
and you have
The
to
pitch.
Yeah, the person who hits the ball has to
Yes.
hit it within in bounds.
Yes.
So if he hits it out of bounds,
You don't
then
count.
it just doesn't count. But you
Yes.
have like 3 goals to hit the ball.
Offside. Yes. Yeah.
You have three goals to hit it. But if you hit it out of bounds, but before it hits the floor, somebody catches that,
Right.
you are out. Even though it went out of bounds, you're out.
Okay.
Okay? So
Somebody from the other team.
they hit the ball.
Yeah.
It's going out of bounds, but the player has a chance to catch it and get him out,
Yes.
making them like almost certain then to win the game.
Yes.
So as he goes to catch the ball, a fan reaches over the side and tries to catch the ball himself. And they both fumble it and it goes over the barriers and out. So the batsman got another chance
Yes.
to hit the ball. And then he does hit the ball and then the Cubs fell apart and ended up losing like 8-3 or something like that, or 9-3 or something.
Yes.
This fan got absolutely slated. He got abused in the stadium.
Is he from the other team?
No,
Or
he
is-
was a Chicago Cubs fan.
He is a fan.
He was a fan of the team, yeah, of the Cubs.
Why is he doing that?
Because it happens all the time in baseball. The ball goes in the air.
Yes.
The fans are above the pitch, so they're all just looking up at the ball. They want to catch it. It's like a souvenir.
Right.
So he goes
Yeah,
to
but
catch it. He doesn't realise that the player has got a chance to also catch the ball because they can jump above the fans and catch it if they can.
That would be me.
So he literally, he
realising.
almost takes it out of the player's hand. It's like
Yeah.
right there, and they fumble
you
the ball
watch
over the
this?
side. No, this was years. I don't really watch baseball. I never
Okay.
watch it. It's crap.
Yeah.
So anyway, they fumble it over the barrier. They end up losing the game. It's blamed on the curse of the
goat.
Billy Goat again.
Yeah.
But this fan is called Steve Bartman. He's only 26 years old.
Steve Bartman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got so much abuse in the stadium. He had to get escorted out
Because
fans
people-
were pouring beer over him and stuff like that and threatening to kill him.
Oh my!
So-
You know what? He deserves it. If they, it's ridiculous. He should be more careful. If he's a fan, what do you want? What does a fan want more than your team to win?
Of course, yeah.
That is very stupid. So he deserved the slate
if
that
you-
he got. He needs more.
Listen, right? There was 10 other fans there that had a chance to catch that ball, and
Yes.
they all reached for it. It's just a natural thing to do. The ball's coming. Oh, I can
But-
catch this ball.
Only the ball, you catch the ball if it comes to where the fans are sitting. Not if the game is still going. I want
'cause
him
it-
to catch it to
well,
win. If he doesn't understand the
he's-
rules of the games.
He did.
No.
He was a big fan, but just in the heat of the moment, he said, I just had eyes fixed on the ball. He didn't realise that the player was even closer.
Clearly,
to
you are
being
on
there.
his side. You're biased.
I'm not biased, but if, like in any sport, in event, you have a crowd full of people, like football matches, 50,000 fans there,
Yes.
and 90% of them might understand football, but only 10% of them know the nuance of every single rule, and
Yeah.
and are that transfixed in the game that they would do that. So, I'd probably say 99% of baseball fans would have caught that ball
Right.
or tried to catch that ball. It's just a natural reaction when it goes to the fans.
Stupid.
Anyway,
I don't agree.
so the next night, or even the same night,
He got killed.
his home address, his name and his home address were leaked online
Yeah.
by the fans. He was getting just abuse left, right, and centre on phone call-ins.
Oh my. He deserves it.
Everything like that. And he had to have police stationed outside his house for his own protection.
Wow, to that extent.
To that extent, yeah. Death threats to
Yeah.
him and his family. And it went on for decade.
Long time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
was even
No,
referenced-
that's a little bit too much.
It was even referenced a few years later in The Simpsons and Family Guy. This is how much of a big event it was in
Really? So his
in
name
America.
is known.
Oh, massively,
Steve
yeah.
Bartman.
Batman, yeah. And
Yeah.
so it was a massive incident. And especially with it being, I mean, if it was the New York Yankees, you win the World Series every couple of years, you know what I mean? It probably would have just been,
Yeah.
that happened,
Yeah.
devastation.
But because of them.
He'd probably got abused for a few weeks and then that would have been it. But because they haven't won it for such a long time,
Yeah.
he just got absolute ridiculous amounts of abuse.
Yes, yes.
But even though he had the chance then afterwards, in the years after, he was getting all this abuse from the fans. He had multiple chances.
Did he take the ball?
No, he dropped the ball.
He dropped it?
Yeah. Somebody actually...
After all this, you stupid idiot.
So he dropped the ball, somebody else behind picked it up, and they sold it a few weeks afterwards for $113,000.
Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, I need a moment. After all of this, he didn't catch the ball. Take
No.
it, you idiot.
He dropped it. Because he went to catch
Well,
it.
there is no other word to describe
He went
this.
to catch it. He's going to catch it, and the baseball player looks like he even hits his hand.
Yes.
So because they both go for it at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And he just goes backwards into the crowd, and this
What?
other guy caught it,
Oh my goodness.
sold it for $113,000,
Oh my goodness.
and but then this Steve Bartman, he had multiple chances to cash in and could have made a load of money himself on
Why? Why would he make money? Don't
adverts, endorsements, just from loads of different things, like lampooning himself, like
understand. Lampooning. What does that mean?
yeah, like making fun of himself.
Ah, yeah. Like being invited to shows. Probably they wouldn't have allowed it though. The people.
Yeah, but I mean, like, could have made adverts and stuff like that. I mean, we had like, England haven't won the World Cup for years,
Yes.
and we had a chance to get to the final. When would it have been? 1990, I think.
Yeah.
And so, actually, it was so we had a chance to get to the final, and we lost on penalties. And one of the people that missed the penalty then did a pizza advert a few weeks later, like making fun of himself missing the penalty.
Yeah.
Why you watching it now?
Yeah, I'm listening to you at the same time. Yeah. Anyway. Oh. Sorry.
You can post it on your Instagram after
Yeah.
this.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That's him in the grey. Oh no,
In the blue.
in the blue. Where? I don't see.
You see it better
Oh, okay,
now.
let's have a look. Which one? He's that one?
Yeah.
It's fair game
And he
for the fans
fumbles
to
it
catch
and it
the
goes
ball
over the
if the player
barrier.
reaches out
Oh
over
my
the field.
god.
Then it can be ruled fan
Anyway, all right, yeah. So in England, sorry,
Yeah.
you guys have to watch this.
So the player, maybe a year after they lost on penalties,
Yeah,
he made a pizza advert, like making fun of himself.
Yeah.
Him and another player who also missed a penalty as well.
right, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he could have made
Yeah, like
things like that.
Yeah, I know, like
And he had-
selling the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had ESPN made a documentary about him. They offered him money to go on the documentary. He turned it down. He never spoke about the incident
He's
publicly
well
at all.
embarrassed. Yeah,
But I think it was more the fact.
he's
Yeah,
scared as
he was
well.
embarrassed. He probably a bit scared, but also he just didn't want. You know, he really he was a massive fan of the team, and he felt like he'd let the team down. And
Oh my goodness!
So-
You know what? I feel really bad now after hearing the full story.
yeah, after saying he should be,
He should be more slated.
Tortured.
You know, I'm the first to judge. I'm so judgy. But goodness me, like, no, that's really bad. I feel bad for him. If that was me, I would be tomorrow on the, you know. Welcome to BBC News. This is exactly what happened. I'll be making YouTube videos about it.
Yeah, too
and
bad.
selling
I mean,
my story.
after I'd been abused that much,
I would
and-
cut my hand and sell it as
he
well.
couldn't even go to the game anymore because he was getting so much abuse that he was scared to go to the matches.
No.
So,
خطية.
So eventually, anyway,
Yeah.
so a few years go by. 2016,
Yeah.
the Cubs broke the curse. They finally won the World Series.
Yeah.
And
And they sacrificed goats. No.
well, the club were always really good to him, saying like, stop abusing him.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong. The players lost it. They still should have won the game, and
Okay.
they just fell apart. And
Yeah.
it wasn't his fault.
Yeah. That's kind.
They're just making him a scapegoat, basically.
Mm-hmm,
So in 2016, they won the World Series, and then a year afterwards, the Cubs actually you get a ring.
Yeah.
They give all the players a ring for winning the World Series.
Yeah, and they gave him
And
one.
they gave him one as well.
Oh.
And
Don't tell me he didn't sell that one either.
he's not sold it now. But they said it was like just to.
Steve, what are you doing?
They said it just hopes that it provides him with closure from the incident. And,
Closure?
yeah. But then they interviewed. So they interviewed some Cubs fans as well,
Yes, and what did they
saying like, "What do you think about Bartman being given a ring? You know, when he cost you the World
They're
Series 10 years
they're
ago."
like, no.
And I think probably
Kill
'cause
the bastard.
I think probably because it was just after they'd won the World Series, or
yeah.
like not long afterwards, they were just saying, "Nah, it's absolutely fine. You know, he's forgiven." And
Okay, well, that's
and
nice.
it's happy because a lot of them realised like
It was
he
too
did
much
nothing
of
wrong,
an
and it was,
overreaction, yeah.
there was actually a guy in there who was next to him who also went for the ball, and he said, "Look, I if that was me under it, I tried to get it, just he happened to just be in the wrong place at the wrong time."
Yeah. Why did the guy who took it not get slated? Because you see clearly all the other people trying to get it. It's not just him.
Yeah, but the guy who got it,
We've
who
got
actually,
a spot right there. Sorry.
are you serious?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
The guy who actually got the ball didn't try and go for it. The ball bounced backwards into the crowd. So he just caught the ball and decided, this is a bit of popular culture now, this is a famous ball that the guy stopped us from winning the World Series on it.
I know, yeah.
So he just sold it. But the
How
ball
much
now would have been worth a fortune. But
Where is the ball now?
the guy who bought the ball for $113,000
Yeah.
was a massive Cubs fan as well.
Yeah.
And he tried to destroy the ball, thinking it would break the curse.
Oh my goodness, how rich is he to go buy a ball for 113,000 euro? No, dollar.
Yeah.
114 almost. And to go and destroy it.
Yeah. So he
God, when am I gonna be this rich?
yeah, he didn't succeed completely in destroying it. So the parts of it, they're actually in a museum in Chicago. I think they're actually in the Chicago Cubs Museum.
Oh my goodness. The
but
world
yeah,
has
so-
the world has much more issues than Chicago baseball team.
But I reckon if they tried to sell it, it maybe wouldn't be worth as much now because they've won the World Series. But if they hadn't won the World Series, it would have been worth a fortune still.
Okay. Do you think people who do that are just freaking crazy? Those who buy something rubbish like that for such amount of money.
Yeah,
what does it care? The chewing gum that Alan Walton, what's he called? The guy who sings and that you don't like. Elton John.
Elton John.
Alan Walton. Elton John, the chewing gum that he's chewed or something. Why on earth? Really?
Crazy.
Like, I would be buying bags. I would be buying new things.
Well, what's the point in a bag as well? What can you do with a bag?
Dennis, we are not going there.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. So that's the end of the story. So yeah, we've already answered the question in what would you have done then? Would you have cashed in and made a load of money from your endorsements and everything?
Absolutely. 100%. You know? What
I
about
would have
you?
done, definitely.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I would have sold it. Today, I catch it. I will go out and say, everybody, you would have done the same. I would be shameless and I would do the same. I wouldn't even.
I mean, I wouldn't have done it straight away, but if I got that much abuse afterwards, I probably would have stopped supporting the club and and stuff like that. But what can you do? And yeah, I'd have cashed in eventually.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
But I mean, maybe
poor, this guy?
I'm gonna say we don't know.
Do?
We don't know anything about him because he just refuses to talk about the incident. So
well, I want to know, like, what does he do? Is he a pharmacist?
He works for a financial firm. That's about as much as you can find out.
His money financing with five flies.
He might be. So he might be. He might have a few quid, and maybe that's why he turned it down. But he was only 26 at the time, so he wouldn't have been that loaded.
No, unless his parents are. Anywho, Steve Bartman, you are dumb. Okay, I feel sorry for you, but you should, I don't know. I feel sorry for the abuse that you got, but then, yeah, whatever. I'm sorry.
It was deserved for one day.
It was deserved for one day. I'm sorry about what I said earlier, if you ever listen to our podcast. Okay, thanks for the story. It's much more interesting.
It's deserved for going and watching a whole baseball game, really.
Yes, you're right there. Well, the story is much more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I feel like, I enjoyed listening to it now that you've told me the full thing.
Do you want me to tell the story about the base getting robbed?
But how am I going to react? Because you've told the story a million times to me. I could probably tell it.
Your listeners can hear.
I can still tell it in a different way, so I can react.
How can I tell it in a different way?
I don't know. Just make a different voice and make a different thing. Yeah.
So I was working in a store in, I don't know what year it was, but early 2000s, around about the same time.
How old were you? 40?
I was about
12.
About 23, 24, I think.
Okay.
Probably around about the same age as Steve Bartman and the same year as Steve Bartman.
Right.
So I was working in this store and 3 armed robbers come in the shop. Well, 2 of them were armed. One had a baseball bat. One had a meat cleaver.
Oh my goodness, you didn't tell me about the meat cleaver. This is the first time I hear.
It isn't at all.
You've
just forgotten about it.
La, Dennis.
Okay.
Do you know what the meat cleaver is in Arabic, in Iraqi? Satur. Say.
Satur. Okay. So one had a...
And the base bat, it's called Tuthiyya.
Okay, so one had a Tuthiyya, one had a Satur, and the other one had a paper bag. Or a plastic bag, rather, a plastic bag.
Okay, what they
for the money.
I wonder what they're going to do. Yeah.
He must have thought he was robbing a bank with a plastic bag. He must have thought he was going to fill up the whole bag with money.
Yeah. He must have watched a film the day before.
So they come in.
Fugitives.
They came in.
Yeah.
And I'd just been out cleaning the store. So
what time is this?
5:30. We were just about to close.
In the afternoon.
Close.
Yeah.
We're just about to close, and so I'd been out cleaning the shop, and then as I went back inside, I didn't lock the door behind me because you have like a security door, but I had my hands full.
So that's stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid, but I mean, I go in back and forth 50 times a day, and nothing happens, and I had my hands full. Because I had like the finger was sweeping with in one hand. And then the rubbish in the other hand or whatever, I can't remember. But anyway.
That was like in a dodgy area, isn't it?
It was in Droylsden. It was
Droylsden is dodgy.
It wasn't that dodgy.
Droylsden is dodgy. Anyway, yeah,
it's
10% less dodgy now, but it's still dodgy.
Right.
Anywho.
So they got in behind the counter. And
can you tell me, like, when they walked in, get on the floor.
They didn't, I can't remember. I can't really remember what happened when they first burst in. Because it's quite a short run from the door to where we were behind the counter. Mm-hmm. So they ran straight in, and by the time I'd even noticed, they were coming through the door. Mm-hmm. The door to the back of the shop.
Yes.
And they're like asking, saying, "Give us all your money, give us the money."
What
blah,
were they
blah,
wearing?
blah.
Did they have balaclavas?
Yeah, balaclavas on.
All right.
And you could tell they were really young. Mm-hmm. And I was working...
With the money, bro. Is that how they talk?
I was working with a manager who was an old guy.
Yeah, how old?
He must have been like 50s, maybe even early 60s.
So you are going to call yourself old in 4 years. Anyway, yeah.
And...
so what did they
and
what did he say?
He just like pretty much froze, and so we give him the money that was in the...
How much was it?
The money that was in the till, which was
10
about...
pounds.
Not joking, it was about 30 quid.
Oh my goodness me. Where's the rest of the money?
It was in the safe. Mm-hmm. But the safe locks at 5 o'clock. Well, in fact, the safe is always locked, but it has a time lock on it, so you can't get into it after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And this had gone 5, it was like 5:30 by then. Mm-hmm. And so there was absolutely no way we could get in the safe to get the money out for them, even if we wanted to. Yeah. So there was 2 areas to the back of the shop. So there was the point where you serve people, and then behind that, then go through another door, and then you're in the kitchen where the safe is. Yeah. And it's the smallest kitchen you've ever seen in your life. It was like the one when we lived in Stockholm. No. It was absolutely tiny. It was just literally safe, couple of cabinets.
God, that's good because you touched the paper.
The safe, couple of cabinets.
I get scared if they come to arrest us now.
And that's it. You couldn't fit more than 5 or 6 people in there, and you'd be like being in a phone box. Yeah. So they get into behind the counter. We give them the money, and they back us up. Like, you just want to get away, so you just naturally backed up into the kitchen area. Yeah. So we're in there, and they're saying, "Open the safe, open the safe." Yeah. And we're just like, "Look, we can't get in the safe. It's on a lock. You know, we can't get in it."
Yeah. Did they believe you, or they were like they thought they were lying?
I don't know. I think they probably thought we were lying.
The guns, the weapons or whatever they had. Where are they now? Are they in their hands? Are they threatening you?
He stood above me. So in the kitchen, there was me, the old man, the guy with the baseball bat, and the guy with the bag for the money. The guy with the meat cleaver was still in the other part of the shop. So this guy with the baseball bat is right in my face, like as if he's going to swing and hit me.
Oh my goodness.
It's so cramped in there. I thought if I was on my own, I'd have hit him because he was so close. I thought if I hit him and knock him out or knock him down, I can get the bat. And the other guy has got...
Sometimes you get stupid ideas.
Well, yeah, but in that situation you do, because I was convinced. I was convinced he was going to hit me with a baseball bat, because I can't give him the money, so what's he going to do? Yeah. And he's getting more and more agitated.
I'm sorry.
So if I was on my own, I'd have hit him, but I wasn't. I was with this other guy.
Yeah.
And...
You were scared for him.
Yeah, and I thought if I don't get it right, then we're both we're both in trouble.
Yeah.
So...
Oh my God, Dennis, what an adventure, mate.
Eventually, I ducked under the bat. I ducked under his baseball bat, and then I just said, "Look, we can't get in the safe." And I just rattled the safe, but it was just a ruse to get out the door, because to get past to the safe, I had to go past all 3 of them. So I got past the 3 of them, rattled the safe, and I went to leg it out the door. Yeah. And as I turned back out of the kitchen into the main part, the kid's there with a meat cleaver.
Oh my goodness, Dennis!
And he shit it though.
What?
Honestly, he didn't like. You'd think. Someone's got a meat cleaver and I've just run out of there. You'd think if he was serious.
So you legged it.
He'd have come to me. No, I didn't get out of the shop because as soon as I see him with the meat cleaver, I stopped.
Yeah.
But he went backwards instead of forwards. But he still stood there with the meat cleaver, so I can't go anywhere. Yeah. So they just then run out.
So you left your mate inside?
In the kitchen, yeah.
Khatiya, why?
Because I wanted to get out of there, and if I get out, they'll all come out chasing me. They don't really just stay in there with him. But once I'm out, I'm out. Okay. And I didn't really care about him, to be honest with you. I just wanted to get out of there myself. So
that's not
nice. Anyway, they all come out of the kitchen then, because I can't get to the door because I'm in with a meat cleaver, and they all come back out then into the main part behind back of the shop, and we're just saying, look, there's no other money in here. We're about to close. The money's in the safe. That's it. That's literally all we've got. We can't give you anything else. So eventually they went. just as they'd gone, the old guy, like, we stood there like 5 minutes afterwards, we called the police. And then the old man says, it's lucky they didn't look under here, innit? And he goes down underneath the till and pulls out £1,000 in a roll. And I was like,
idiot, why didn't he?
why did you not just give him the £1,000? They'd have been out of the shop, we'd have been
Okay.
completely safe.
Yeah.
It's not our money, it's the company's money. Why would I care to take money or not? Idiot, I was absolutely fuming. But yeah, they got about 50 quid, 60 quid, I think.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
They thought that they're going to make much more money.
Yep. And they made
And where is
nothing.
that guy now?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you're not good friends with him and you hated him.
Well, I
more.
left a few weeks later. Well, I got moved to another shop and then that got robbed.
You take the
Common
goat.
denominator. You got even less than them.
Oh my God. Anyway, well, what interesting stories. Thanks for sharing. That's it. So we hope you enjoyed this story, our lovely listeners. Let us know, what do you think? Should this guy, you think this guy, I don't know, is it unfair how Steve
How he was
Bartman
treated
was treated? What do you think?
by his own fans.
By his own fans, exactly. Anyway, all right, thanks for listening, and we will see you again. Well, we will speak to you again in a week's time. If you have any suggestion for what you want us to chat about, then...
Don't send them. We'll think of some ourselves.
Dennis, shut up. No, please send them. Good night.
Good night.